Welcome back to the Ponca City Monthly Podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and it's an exciting time. October, there's always a lot of events going on. Somebody who is behind a lot of events here in town is the Ponca City Development Authority. And what I found interesting when I talked to Kat last month about the Hispanic Heritage Festival is that these types of events are really instrumental into bringing people to Ponca City to move here. And so as PonCon is coming up on October 25th here in just a couple of weeks, I thought it'd be fun to bring in Kat to talk about some of the fun events going on and how PonCon helps build our economy. Kat, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
You are always so busy. I always feel so lucky whenever I get a chance to talk to you because you're just like, you're everywhere. You're always doing everything.
I'm always everywhere and I do like to do everything. It keeps me busy. So yeah, I love it when we get 5 minutes to chat because I like auto dump on you everything that's going on and I run away and he's like, but wait, what do you mean?
You're one of those creative people that like, at any given moment you have 100 ideas. And so being in your presence means that you're just going to spout like, here's 50 ideas. I need you to think about them and I'll catch you when I see you next time.
And when you need help with development, just give me a holler. Okay, it's good. It's no problem. Yeah. And what's funny is that's how a lot of things happen.
Right.
And you have to brainstorm with people. You have to take the time to hear them and really listen to what they're talking about and go, okay, here's what I hear you saying. No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, well, that's what I hear you saying. So what are you really talking about? Let's dive a little bit deeper. And like somebody was talking to me this morning, I said, whoa, I have to stop you here. Are you ranting or do you want me to fix something? And they're like, I'm just ranting. I'm like, okay, proceed.
Because you gotta be taking notes and all of that to figure out because your brain immediately starts trying to figure out the problems, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's how you work.
Yes. And so if it's just a rant, I will sit here and go, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they did that. I mean, that's just where you have to go with a rant. Whereas if it's problem solving, let me get my whiteboard out. Where's some markers? Let's see what we can do about this. So, and that's the small business side of me coming out because a lot of what I do is people's startups. Maybe they're doing pivots. Maybe they're wanting to start a new product. Sometimes we have product developers, inventors that come in and they go, I've got this great idea. And in the 15 minutes that we're talking, I can say, hey, somebody else has had this great idea and here's how they've developed it. Is yours different? Is there a differentiation? Is there some way we can pivot on this to make it work into a product that we can develop, do a prototype, and get it out there into the world? So a lot of what I do is listening to people and then putting back on them what I hear them saying. And if that's where we're at and there's consensus, then we can move to the next thing.
Yeah.
So, and that's where a lot of these things come from.
How did you end up in this business? Like
I wrote it down. Are you talking about economic development or this?
No, like because you were a librarian.
I was a librarian, but I was a small business librarian, and I came at it not from a library standpoint. So one thing that my husband, I'd gotten fired. Creatives get fired. Sorry, that's just the way that is. We push the boundaries. We ask too many questions, and we get fired. So I was mopey because I was on unemployment and I was doing job searches. And my husband goes, you're at the library all the time. Why don't you just get a job there? I was like, that is a fantastic idea. So I applied and I'm semi-bilingual. So I was raised in Hispanic speaking household. My grandmother spoke Spanish. That's all she spoke. So when I applied, I just checked that box that said I was bilingual and they hired me as a temporary person. And then I got hired on as part-time person and then full-time. And then when a business librarian position opened up at the main branch, I was the only person that wasn't a librarian that applied. And I walked in, as I walk into most meetings, with a very large notebook and a lot of ideas. And I thought, and I told them, this is what you need to do to make this go to the next level so that you can market the library. And they hired me. And I found out later that's why the librarians didn't like me for a year. I wasn't a librarian. I was a marketing person that understood small business that was like, oh my gosh, you have this amazing collection. Why don't more people know about it? And so after that first initial year where everybody hated me, then they figured out I wasn't a threat, that they weren't going to hire more cats out there. Cat was just cat. And then I helped each one of the subject librarians to market their collections better. So they were going out and speaking to the public. They were doing all of this kind of stuff. And then Stephen moved up here. I followed about a year later and kind of fell into the position as an office manager with PCDA. They'd run through a couple of office managers. They need somebody to organize them. They needed somebody to do research. They need somebody to run QuickBooks. So I was like, I can do all those things. And they hired me. And then we kind of grew into what we are now.
Wow. But you're making it sound like it just happened in a few weeks. This happened over a course of several years.
So
when you got fired, you weren't like you now getting fired. You were a kid.
How old was I? I was 29 and I'm 58 now.
So I didn't want people to think like, oh, she got fired.
No.
Like, no, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. I was with the library for 6 years. So I was in my mid 30s by the time I moved to Ponca City. I did not find, this is for everyone out there that says, I'm never going to find what I'm supposed to do with my life. I did not find economic development as a profession until I was 38 years old. And I have been there 20 years. When you find what sticks, when you find what works for you, they can't pry you out of the job. You will continue to do that job, whether it's at one location or continuously. I've always been a small business advocate, but I absolutely believe in economic development for the community's good, for your demographics good, and for your greater good of your region, county, whatever that looks like. So everything to me is economic development. It's just what slot do we put it into? And that's where PonCon comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Because lots of it, like you were saying, we talked last month about Hispanic Heritage Festival. We had an article in the magazine about it. And in that, we talked about how, like you said, this kind of stuff, these events that all seem fun and they're great and they're, you go out, get some good food, enjoy being with the community. They're also really important for developing that sense of community for people who are moving here to work our jobs. Because without them, I mean,
we don't got nothing.
Right.
Yeah. We have, we call it the stickiness factor. People like to see other people like themselves in their communities. They like to see other people like themselves at events. They don't want to feel like they're odd or different. So when you build your community and you've got those different pieces in your community, you have to express interest and you have to give something for them to be interested in return, specific to their culture, specific to their interests. In this case, we can do culture, which is Hispanic Heritage Festival. And sometimes we have a Hispanic market around Christmas. And then sometimes we do Cinco de Mayo. Blackwell does a good Cinco de Mayo. So we don't want to sway the focus too much. So we end up doing Hispanic Heritage Festival in the fall. And we encourage everyone to participate in the Cinco de Mayo that's in May. So those are the things that we do there. PonCon's a little different. PonCon is, I want activities that are nerdy, that are geeky, that I don't have to travel and stay in a hotel in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, or spend a whole lot of money. We also have a lot of creatives that do things in our community that are great vendors at those things. So PonCon basically started pre-pandemic. We started planning this pre-pandemic. We ended up doing it during the pandemic. But Christina Rich Blonde, who's another character here in Ponca City, we got together and we were like, we need to do something geeky. We need to do something that is absolutely for those creatives and people like us that think this is fun, but we really don't want to travel far away and we don't want to be around people that we don't know for an extended period of time. We're introverted extroverts. I think they have a word for it now, an otrovert. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. Yay.
They invented a word for you.
There's a word for me. So we got together, and the first year we did Gotham Comes to Ponca City. So we took an original Batman episode with Adam West from the 1960s, and she rewrote it. And we did it in the courtyard at City Central. And it was I wish we had recorded it. We did not record it. And I've kicked myself ever since. That's what happens when you're in the middle of something and you're not organizing something. So, but it was hilarious. My husband was Batman. Billy Elliot was Robin. It was hilarious. I'm sorry. It was just so funny and so fun. We had probably 150 people that came, and it was great. It was also the summer of the pandemic, the first summer in 2020. So it was outdoors. That was great. People felt safe, and they could do that. We had someone owns a Batman car in maybe Arc City. He brought it down and was taking pictures with people in it. It was really cool. We were really proud of that, but it was also a lot of work. That was herding cats. And we thought, there's got to be something else we do. We brought in Dave from Hall of Heroes, and he suggested we do a mini Comic-Con and geek garage sale. So you get all your vendors together, you get people who collect memorabilia, and give them a table and let them set up. So it was a huge turnout. We had like 700 people.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was our first PonCon. And that's where the PonCon moniker kind of came from, was that year. Dave continues to do, I think, a Geek Garage sale at Hall of Heroes. But we tweaked it a little bit, and we stayed with the Comic-Con theme with a different kind of bent. So a nerd is the word. Geek garage sale was the first year. The second year, we called it Build Your Character. So we were very much talking about how do you build character? How do you stay in character? We had a costume contest. We had a writing contest. All of these things about building your character. Last year was Dungeons and Dragons, so Out of the Dungeon. And we had a really great guy, our Bruce Elliott, who is friends with Deb and Carol Rue. Said, sure, I'll come. No problem. He's like really well known. He's done over 300 voices.
Oh, wow.
And he's got Funkos. And I don't know if you know about the world. Yeah. Okay. So he's got Funko characters. So he's a big deal. And every 10 minutes, he would just yell out one of his character catchphrases, and everybody cheered. And it was quite fun.
Yeah.
Quite fun. Because of the success of that one, NACL Comic-Con got a hold of us, and they are out of Hutchinson, Kansas, and it's Kendall, Kimberly, and Wyatt is their son. They run Comic-Cons. And he goes, we are very interested in your PonCon. And I'm like, I'm so happy because I don't want to do this anymore. It's a lot of work.
It is.
You have to find volunteers for it. And it very much is for the love of the 1,000 people that are in our area who are creative and want this outlet. These are the people that are working retail jobs. These are the people that are collectors and maybe have gig economy going on the side, but they want to see other people like themselves. We want to give it to them.
Yeah.
So, but we can't monetize it. So the library, Ponca City Library, PCDA, volunteers from the community, there was just no way to monetize this. There's no way to charge a fee for people to come in, nor did we want to build it up. But somebody else coming in can. Mm-hmm. So their first Comic-Con, the first PonCon that they did was in the spring. Now, keep in mind, we've never done one in the spring. Mm-hmm. We've only done fall PonCons. And so we have between 500 and 700 people at our PonCons. They had about 400 at the spring one. So it was fairly well attended for being the first. We're really excited about the one in October because October 25th is going to be our 4th year for the actual PonCon. And they bring a lot of fun things. So they bring scavenger hunts, and they bring cosplay for the youth and for the adults with prizes. Mm-hmm. They've got an esports going on, so you can come in there and play Switch against like your best friend, or against, you could do teams. We're going to have a Magic the Gathering there. So some of these terms, I'm like, okay, great. This is not my world. I am so glad that you're excited about it. Please come. It's $5 to get in.
Right.
Kids 15 and under, if they're accompanied by a parent, get in free. So it's very family friendly if you've got a lot of kids that you're bringing in. We had a great Deadpool last year. We had a great Joker last year in the spring that came in. Just people spend a lot of time on these. And of course, me, I'm like, who are you again? It's fine. I don't know, and I'll do a quick lookup. And my husband is working on his costume right now, and the grandson's
Nice.
being pulled in again. It's good.
So I was going to ask specifically about the cosplay because you're quite a costume designer yourself.
I'm not so much a designer, but I am a sewist. So I can get in there and I can make things, and I can translate. So one of my gifts is not so much the creative side. I can translate somebody else's vision into reality. Mm-hmm. So I'm not so much the creative as I am what everybody calls the pusher and the shover. So give me your idea. Let's flesh it out. What does it look like? Let me develop it. You keep me in line so I don't go off the rails. And then we'll create it and we'll make it a living, breathing thing. Mm-hmm. So it's not so much my creativity it's other people's creativity pushed in a let's do this direction.
Sure. As someone who couldn't operate a sewing machine if you put
a gun to your head.
I have to say, I think it is a lot of creativity. There's a lot of creativity. You're following a pattern, sure, but what you create is not the same thing that I would create.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not hard, but it is
Yes,
complicated.
it is.
No, it is complicated. So it's like running the board.
Right.
You know, somebody's going to look at pushes and levers and things, and I'm talking about old time. You've got an iPad in front of you, and you're like, well, this I know how to operate this. Well, give me 15 or 20 minutes of me watching you, and I'd be able to semi-operate it too.
Sure.
Again, with the whole gun to the head. But, you know, I tell people all the time, my strength is not so much creating things, it is making them a reality. Mm-hmm. And that's all small business is making it into a reality. You can have all of these ideas, but if you can't translate them into actual stuff or a business or a product, then you're just going to be a really great idea person.
Right.
And I have some ideas and I get told no a lot.
Sure.
But every so often there's that yes. It might be a very quiet yes, but it's enough for me to see an entrance and to go after it. So PonCon is that. It was a very quiet yes, because, you know, this is something that is almost subculture. It's almost something that people are like, oh, that's nice, and pat you on the head with it. But this is serious for some people. Yeah. This is their creative outlet. This is what they do. This is what they spend their money on.
Sure.
So if we're going to spend money on it, let's spend money on it in Ponca City.
Yeah. Because I have been able to attend a big con or a big con, and they're crazy. And yeah, tickets for those are not cheap.
No.
And the number of people that show up, I mean, unless you've been to one, you don't realize how big the cosplaying is and like how massive of a thing that is. But something you said to me a long time ago, and it's always stuck with me, is that when you moved somewhere, like you and I both came from Tulsa, we came from big cities. Yeah. So moving to, I don't know how it was for you, but it was a little bit of a shock for me. But you said something really important, and you said sometimes you have to make the city what you want it to be, and
Absolutely.
Bring those things that you think deserve to be here. So was that kind of PonCon for you?
Absolutely. It's not so much for me, but it's something that we see in economic development. A lot of times you get very linear economic development, which is you should have these things, A, B, C. Well, that's great. You should have grocery stores. Fabulous. We've got grocery stores.
Yeah, we got to have those.
Exactly. You should have good streets and infrastructure. Fabulous. We have that. What else should you have that goes with the grocery stores and the good streets? What does your community need? What does your community want? And if you're not listening to what your community needs and wants, then you're going to bring things that are not going to succeed. And we have to have things that succeed. We are a community of 25,000 stuck in a larger community of 46,000 that is stuck in a sending area of roughly 60,000. So at any given time, we have 4,000 to 8,000 more people that are running through Ponca City than actually live here. Whether they're coming to grocery stores, whether they're coming to see movies, whether they're coming for events, Ponca Playhouse, whether they're coming for the Veterans Day Parade, PonCon, Hispanic Heritage Festival, whatever the reasons that they are coming to Ponca City, we want to give them more reasons to stay and spend their money. Maybe spend a night, maybe take a family day trip. all of those things need to happen, which means that we, as people who live in Ponca City, have to support when the other 4,000 to 8,000 people are not coming through to support those entities. And to build that, to make it work, you have to be cognizant of the fact that it may take a little bit longer. You may have to work with people in your community. You may have to be patient so that this person knows, hey, they're going to spend their money with me. And moving forward, we're going to grow this economy. We're going to grow what we want here. So for me, 20 years ago when I moved here, I had some health issues. So I had to eat a different way. I had to look at food differently. Sunny Creek Trading Post is a direct response to that. They have local foods. They have local producers. They have local product there that is created on the farms that we know where it came from. You know, there for a while I'm like, I'm sorry, have you met this cow? Do you know where this chicken came from? Those things are important to me. If you can't answer those questions, great, I'll have a salad.
Yeah.
Do you know who made the lettuce? Okay, I'm just checking. So those are things that are important to me. I would love to have a smoothie place here in town. That would make me extremely happy. Because I don't always want to make my own smoothies. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I want to pay people to make me smoothies. And then, you know, the old school is, well, we need a buffet. We need a buffet. Well, I'm here to tell you that the salad bar at Homeland is second to none.
Yeah.
Pizza Inn has a great salad bar and a great product. There is great little places in Blackwell, in Newkirk, in Tonkawa that are just a stone's throw away. And the cool thing about going in our community and our county is that those people reciprocate. Mm-hmm. They know and make it known. Hey, I'm coming from Ponca City. Would love to see you in Ponca City if you guys ever had a night off. And talk about that. And we've got Greek Island that's here downtown. So if, you know, people want to have something that's a little bit different, I love my Mediterranean food. Mm-hmm. Makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Now I need to go over there twice a week so that they will stay here.
Yes.
Cat's supporting them. Everybody else needs to come support them. Because when we get something new, everybody flocks.
Yeah.
And then they go back to their quick and fast ways. Because maybe it's not fast enough. Maybe it's not something I want every single night. But these are things that we want in the community. Therefore, we need to support them.
Yeah. That's a big thing.
I want certain things. And I haven't left Ponca City to go shopping in a while. My friends in Tulsa don't see me that much anymore. I can't say that about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they saw me once a month. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm coming in for this. Do you guys want to have lunch? Hey, I'm coming in for this. Do you want to go out for dinner? Now they're like, where are you? I'm like, I don't got to leave here anymore.
Sure.
Why would, no. Tulsa drivers are nuts.
Yes.
Nope, not going there. So you create the world that you want. And I think with economic development, I've been extremely lucky to be able to help with that. This is one thing I do brag about. I don't think anybody is any more passionate than our office than Ponca City. It's about demographics, about the people here, about connecting other people, connecting new people in the community, connecting people who may have been here for a while, who don't realize the really cool things that we have here for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm like, are you on Facebook? No. Then you need to read the Ponca City Monthly so that you can find out what's going on. Because text messages are not going to do it. If you're not hooked into some kind of support group that is ecumenical, as my old boss used to say. It has to go across several different levels. So it can't just be your church group.
Right.
It can't just be your bridge club. It can't just be your bunco group. It's got to kind of span several different levels or you're going to miss out on stuff.
And the thing is that there are so many organizations that all you have to, everybody needs volunteers.
Oh, yeah.
And volunteering doesn't have to be this enormous time suck. You know, you literally can go volunteer for 30 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever you have. But that gets you out there to see what's going on in the community. So when people, you know, step back and say, oh, there's nothing happening, it's just boring. You're like, well, what are you involved in? You know, what organizations are you working with? Because there's always something. There's always somebody doing something. Something fun about this year, speaking of like local development and community, is the esport, because we have a growing esport community here.
Yeah.
Like that's like I think I saw that the high school has something, and then University Center maybe I saw something there. But yeah, so esports, how fun is that?
Yeah, it's so that's basically grown out of everybody has a computer, and there are ways to monetize it, and there are ways for new development. And esports is a way for kids to get involved, adults to get involved. And, I think about 12, 15 years ago when video games kind of exploded. Everybody had played video games until then, but then they became like competitive. Like people were
able to make money off of that.
Yes, that too.
Like real money.
My husband really wanted to open like a gaming den where you could, just like a billiard hall, where you could come and you could log into your account and you could play somebody. But that was, corporations were already making money off that, and the licensing on it was just cost prohibitive. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's not so much so. So I think the esports is really cool. It's a way to, the hand-to-eye coordination is absolutely up there with anything else that you do. And the reaction times and all the rest of it. It's just not as physical. It's more mental and hand. So I think it's really cool. I'll be interested to see what NACL's going to do with it, NACL, when they do. We haven't had our setup phone call yet, but that's going to be down. I think we're going to keep everything in the lower level of the city central. So we'll see what happens. We do have 2 food trucks that are going to be there.
Nice.
Smoky Matt Goodness.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Smoky Matt Goodness. And I have to look at my notes for this one because I never can say it right. Where are they? It is the Filipino food truck that is going to be there.
Their food is fantastic too.
Marco Panlasang Filipino. Yeah. And they started coming here from Tulsa area last year, and they sell out every single time. Yeah. Their ubu bread is just, I'm looking forward to it massively. And then I'm trying to convince the Pohai Goal Kick Club, the soccer club, boosters to do concessions inside.
Fun.
Yeah, so it's very much a community thing, and what I love. Okay, so the phrase that stuck with you for me, this stuck with me from my daughter. The Booster Club doesn't geek out a whole lot.
Sure.
They did the concessions last year for PonCon, and my daughter had a blast watching some of these moms go, "Where are these people from? They're from here." Yeah. These are the people that are working in our community. These are the next or the current workforce that we have in our community. So just because you don't see them doesn't mean they don't exist. And they are a very important cog in our whole workforce economic level here in Ponca City. So it's a very eye-opening experience. And my daughter had a very big giggle on it. And therefore, I had a very big giggle on it because just because you're not in that world doesn't mean that world doesn't exist.
Sure.
And that world makes money and spends money and pays rent and buys groceries and is a definite economic driver in our community. And again, the stickiness factor is high. Somebody who moves here who is used to going to big Comic-Cons and they don't see anybody else that looks like them, they're going to naturally gravitate to a different community. Mm-hmm. But if they see other people that are rabid about costumes, that are rabid about being seen in this area, and I don't mean rabid in a bad sense, I mean just passionate about it, they go, "Hey, those are my people.
Yeah,
I can stay here. They're here."
Sure.
So I love that about PonCon. I love that about the Hispanic Heritage Festival. We're trying to develop something for the Marshallese community as well. I think the Native American celebration's this weekend too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and we have Arts Festival going on.
It's not this weekend.
Oh, is it not this weekend?
It is, but this will come out weeks from now.
Sorry. It's not this weekend. It was a couple of weekends ago.
It was a couple of weekends ago.
It was an
awesome event.
I was ready to say, so fall in Ponca City is a lot. we'll just go there. Fall in Ponca City. So September, October, November, you have a whole lot going on. I mean, we started that young entrepreneur stuff that's going on in November. And don't think I don't go, hi, do you sew?
Yeah, Kelsey and I were talking about in one of our previous podcasts that it seems like during the summer month, everybody goes on vacation. And so it's very quiet. Because, we have from time to time tried to get an events calendar going. And the problem we run into is there just comes a certain point when it's just like, oh, there's one event this month, so we don't do anything. And then we get to September, and then all of a sudden they just start coming fast and furious with, Party at the Palace starts up. And then it just seems like from then until January, it's just like, wow, events every weekend. There's something fun to do. So that's I don't know how that happens, but you know what? It's cooler outside. We want to be outside.
It is. With the summer months, you always have the hot factor. And so, some people are like, some people at the beginning of summer are like, bring it on. But by July, they're like, no. It's too hot. It's too hot. And this was a fabulous summer this year.
It was. But, I was telling Kelsey that, first of all, my friend Brandy works at the canned garden. So I'm always very cautious when I complain about the outside because I sit indoors all day. I don't have any room to complain. But I get where some people have that like winter blahs. I get summer blahs because I don't want to go outside when it's 100 degrees. so this time of year I come alive. It's fun. There's all kinds of fun things to do.
Absolutely.
One thing I wanted to say was earlier this year when you had the spring PonCon, we had Charles Gerian on, and he was a cosplayer. And the thing is about these cosplayers that I don't think maybe people understand is that they travel all over to do this. And so, I think it's really fun that we have this here so they can add this as part of their, summer tour. Because they spend months making these costumes.
Yes.
This isn't something they just throw together like the night before. A lot of them spend months working on them. Some of them are very intricate. And I have to say, as someone who liked to dress up and play and stuff like that, the invention of the 3D printer has just changed. Like, I see these people and I'm like, there is no way, unless you are tech savvy, you can make some of these costumes.
Yes. The cool thing is you just make friends with tech savvy people. So plug for Thomas Duff. He is Grizz and he does 3D printing. We have known him since he was 18, 19. I mean, Steve has known him for a really long time, and it's been great to see him develop into this 3D printing god because he does just about anything. With Steven's costume, he's like, well, I don't know how to, let's just call Thomas. Thomas will figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. So hopefully Thomas can figure out what Steven's wanting to do. But yeah, I mean, my husband, Steven's been planning his costume for the last 4 months.
Yeah.
And he's like, we've got to get busy. I'm like, what's this we? Oh, we. So, and my grandson, my 16-year-old grandson gets dragged into these costumes too. They've got some great, this is really a family affair type thing. If you've got a parent that's passionate about gaming, you're going to have kids that are passionate about gaming. If you've got a parent that's passionate, or grandparent in this case, that's passionate about cosplay, it's going to shuffle down. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of those things like, oh, that makeup's not accurate. That kind of thing. And it really is a family event. You get a lot of families through there. Yes, you get the one-offs, the teenagers that are wandering through, and the young adults that rove in packs. But I love to see the families that come through there and like, oh my gosh, did you see this? And they get really excited about it. And it really is a great way to build that stickiness factor in our community and with our families that are here in Ponca City. And then they tell people about it.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we've got a Comic-Con. We've got a PonCon. What do you mean? We've got a PonCon. We call it PonCon, and it happens every October. Now it's happening in the spring and in October. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's ours. We created it. And there is a pride factor there for that part of the community, much like the Hispanic Heritage Festival. They're very proud of the fact that we have one here. Mm-hmm. And other people are very cognizant of the fact that we have one here. Yeah. And that's great. That's what we're looking for, is that pride factor in your community.
Yeah. And it's not just fun. There's cash prizes to be won at the costume cosplay contest. There's $200 for adults, $50 plus a lightsaber for kids or young adults. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, it's not just something fun to do. You could actually win some money. And something I was going to point out, the library has a maker space kind of. So if you needed to create some fun stuff, you could always hook up with the library, and I'm sure somebody over there would be happy to help out.
Yep, they have a set schedule on when they can show you. A lot of kids already have used some of the things in there. They have several different types of 3D printers. They've got the filament pens that you can make like buttons and little things that are really cool to make on your costumes. They have a cricut, however you say it.
I have never been able to say that.
I know, me either, but I think it's cricket. Anyway, the vinyl cutter.
I called it a circuit for like forever. Then one day I was like, that's not circuit. That's a different word.
No, that's the water thing. No. But they have that. And the library has partnered with us for several years on the writing contest, on the cosplay, bringing 3D printers and showcasing what that looks like in different programming and things like that. So, but yes, if you didn't know about the makerspace at the library, please go check it out. They have open hours for you once you're trained on the equipment. They have training set up specifically for that. We're coming into murder mystery season at the library. We are coming into what do they call it? The Harry Potter escape room.
Yeah.
So now keep your eye on that. They're doing a lot of art stuff right now with Red Dirt Rosie is doing some stuff. I think they've got some beginning drawing classes started. There is a lot of interplay between that creative side and mathematics. And, focusing your creativity makes you better at the things that are more black and white, into the sciences, into the math. So we absolutely love our library. Our library is incredible, and I would scrub it up against any larger community's library with the events that they do, the programs, and our makerspace especially. I've been on the library board they had to kick me off the library board. So now I'm on the Friends of the Library until I can get back on the library board. Because I truly believe in the library's mission is to be there for the community, for information, for entertainment, all of the things that we already pay for. It's paid for with our taxes. So we absolutely need to be utilizing the library. Don't get me on a library tangent. You know how I am about the library.
It just seemed like a great time to bring them up for what they do.
Yes, absolutely.
So one of the things, you may not know anything about this, but the zombie shootout, I am so looking forward to that because I'm hoping that, that could go a lot of directions. I don't know anything about it.
I haven't talked with them about what that is, but I have a feeling it is the thing that created a lot of confetti last year.
Nice.
So more than likely that will be, if you've ever been down in the summit, we have a lot of mazes down there. And there is a straightaway as you go off to the docks. The docks will not be open, but I think the straightaway is where we're going to be doing the zombie shootout.
Okay, so that'll be a lot of fun to look forward to. Again, the event is going to be on October 25th. It's from 11 to 6. It's at City Central. A lot of events. You can find it on Facebook. Is there like a website? Does PonCon have a website? Or
PonconPC.com. There we go. PonconPC.com. You can also look up NACL Comic-Cons, and they have information there. Follow us on the Facebook page at PonCon, all caps. And we're posting what's going to happen, and he's made me little leaderboards that I'm trying to get on there. We're going to have the Ghostbusters there.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we're going to have, what's the other one that we're going to have? The esports tourneys, the Ghostbusters. Oh, the Legion's going to be there. So we're going to have a Star Wars Legion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I overlooked that. I saw
that one I don't think has gone out yet. I think that goes off next week. But I think the Wichita branch is going to be there.
Wow.
So yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun.
We had Star Trek at the spring one. So we've got Star Wars.
Okay.
I think it's the Jedi group that's coming in. The Ghostbusters are going to be really cool. They have the vehicle. So I think they're going to have that out for people to take pictures and on display. And there is an Arc City arm. So we may have dueling Ghostbusters. We'll see who shows up.
Well, that would be worth it just to show up just to see
exactly.
what you get there. All right, Kat. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and talking to us about PonCon and telling us a little bit about Ponca City Development Authority.
Absolutely.
Lots of stuff going on. Check them out. So come back next week for more Ponca City Monthly. Thanks so much.